Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I am, of course, your host, that guy, James J. Alongside the leader of Squash Squad, Kaliko Yacht, who may be joining us a little later, but who is here right now, the American Scooter Dust.
Don't mind if I yes.
And it was a good week for Wrestling Wit as we interviewed Justin Pac-Man Xavier on Tuesday, and then Ken Warren on Wednesday. Two incredible interviews. Cannot recommend them enough. Go into the archives to check those out. This upcoming Monday, you got that right, Monday, we have an interview with Deshaun Showtime Watkins, the owner of Compton Mania. A fantastic interview with an incredible individual. Get all of the tea on Compton Mania, what it, how it came to be, all of the positive things around it, the wrestlers, the podcast, a couple and more when it comes to Deshaun. And then back to our regularly scheduled interview. On Tuesday, we got Maddie, the American Baddie. A great individual, great interview. We talk about being cost the EPW Women's Championship a couple of times, WrestleCade, baseball, and a hell of a lot more. And then on Wednesday, we have Uncle Money. Currently living in China. We talk about that. Some first-time encounters with big names. Doing video game commercials, rapping, and a hell of a lot more. But don't take my word for it. Here's some clips now. It's safe to say that your eyes are on Jennifer because, she's got on March 5th some questionable victories over Casey Kazana over the last couple of months. On the 6th, we have Big Sam.
I would actually have to disagree with you on that. I'm not focused on her because she's not better than me. She is... Every match that she's ever won over me, she has cheated. So, I don't even take it as she beat me. It's kind of one of those things like she cheated for what she got, so she never really beat me. And then, my eyes are on whoever has that belt, especially because I know that I've put in the work and I know that I would be a great women's champion for that company. So my eyes are for sure on the champion, but I do get what you're saying. It's one of those things where, if I ever do run into her, it won't happen again.
Woofy Woo, that's her stage name. Her name is Mary. Woofy Woo's her stage name. She released her music video, and her and I have a song together. And before we performed our song together, I performed my song at her event. And that was the first time anyone heard the song. So my mom saw it on Facebook. And she commented, Trey, the disrespect towards women and da-da-da. So I sent my mom a video. I was actually on the set shooting my music video. So I had three girls in the music video. So I sent her a video. I said, Mom, look at these beautiful women. They like the song. They're like, yes, we love the song. We love the song. I sent it to my mom, the troller. And then
I think there's
Mary,
possibility.
She sent the video to me saying, Miss Sheila, I love the song. So I sent it to my mom to let her know, hey, really like the song. But my mom sent me a message, text me. She said, Trey, I appreciate you living your dreams.
Show his daughter.
And, blah, 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 blah. I raised you better than her. And I just explained to mom what the song was about. I said, I'm actually talking about men. I'm making fun of men. That's really the song is, And I just explained it to her, and she was like, okay, I understand now. I just don't like the cursing. I was like, I know, but like,
And
so
wants to get back in the ring. It might not be the best of things for where he currently is.
Let's be fair. He wouldn't have gotten anywhere if I hadn't put him over so much.
Very true. Well, from somebody that may return to somebody that had no business returning, and that is a one Patrick Clark, who.
Oh boy! Oh my God! I saw this. Oh.
Who wrestled his first match since getting fired from WWE. It was in. You know what? I'm not gonna put over the company that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention them.
Yeah.
But yeah, he competed in his first match since getting fired from WWE. And it wasn't announced. Nobody knew he was going to be there. He came out. He was treated. The company was. He was treated like a baby face. Got a clean win on some independent wrestler. And of course, there was backlash. I understand wanting to give somebody a second chance, but
you don't. You don't keep it hidden like this. You don't keep something like this hidden. Because, like you said, there's backlash, and you know how they say even any publicity is good publicity. Not when you hire a groomer.
Right. And we're not talking about somebody that works at Petco.
Hey, the person at Petco would probably get more cheers.
You're not wrong. And, they said that they stand by, what they did and giving him a second chance. If you really felt that way, then maybe ask the people that were on your card, the wrestlers, if they felt comfortable being in a locker room with this guy. Actually promote it instead of making it, being sneaky about it. Because it didn't seem like, oh, it's a surprise. Patrick Clark, wow, he's here. It seems like they did it in the most sneaky way possible. Which, isn't necessarily appreciated. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can also think of one reason they may have decided to keep this secret.
Yeah.
And I'm going to preface this now. I'm going to go to hell for saying this joke. I don't care. The reason that they kept this secret because it happened to be Bring Your Child to Work Day in that locker room.
Oh, will you stop it?
I mean, that says so much about the owner and the promoters of this particular promotion. It's... I don't think we've had a controversy like this since Rob Feinstein.
And, maybe you did it they did it because, like you said, buzz or whatnot. But if you saw that crowd when he came out, they didn't know what the fuck to make of it. They were. It wasn't like, oh, we're happy to see him. It was like, what the fuck is are we actually seeing this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like one of those scenes in sports films where the crowd is like cheering, and all of a sudden something really weird or unusual happens, like somebody's like pants fall down, or something. Someone gets like someone ends up running, streaking on the field, and everybody's just got their mouth and jaws agape, and they're just like, and now, and I'm gonna ask this because I have to, and since we are, wrestling journalists in the loosest sense of the term, if Patrick Clark hadn't made that video apologizing, would this have faced more backlash or less?
That is not a bad question.
Like, if a significant amount of time had passed after the he made that apology video, maybe I could understand. And again, there's another Hollywood example that I can equate to this, and that's Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman. What a lot of people do not know is that Paul Rubens was actually on the sex offender registry. Not by choice, though. He had actually turned himself in for having artwork from back in the day. There's nudity aplenty in many centuries worth of works of art, and he did the right thing, and even though he unfortunately was on the registry, that's the only time, at least I can think of, where something like this happens and somebody can salvage their career.
I mean, whenever, even, when kids are involved, it's hard to, make excuses for them. Or say, oh, they've changed, or, a lot of the speaking out movement was, allegations, of a different sort. Some of those people can and have, gotten away from those allegations. And, but like I said, it's of a different nature. I don't think anybody is going to get behind somebody that has a pretty large amount of evidence against him for what he did. You kind of understand what I mean?
Yeah, no one's going to get behind him or in front of him.
And I don't think anybody is going to want to compete for that company as well. So they may have just shot themselves in the foot as well.
And if any talent from that promotion happen to hear this, don't include the time you've worked for this company on your resume.
Yeah, that would be not wise. Right. Let's
Ooh.
go to yeah.
Ooh, I mean, I don't know if you were gonna get to this, but I think I kind of wanna, bring up the mood a little bit.
Yeah.
So, John Cena has an OnlyFans.
John Cena is an OnlyFans girl now.
Yeah. The good news is that it's free. The bad news is that it's John Cena with an OnlyFans. Ironically enough, it is not actually John Cena, but John Cena portraying a character, and it's being used as a promotional tool for one of his upcoming movies. I don't know what it's named, but the OnlyFans is listed under the name of Ricky Stenicki.
Yeah.
And it's free, and the first thing you see is him in a Britney Spears costume, and we're talking late '99 Britney, baby one more time, Catholic schoolgirl, and the caption is, "Does anybody want to hit this one more time?" And all the comments were from AJ Styles saying, "Beat up John Cena." But Jesus, and now apparently Randy Orton may be involved.
Oh God, no!
In some sort of role. I don't know. I mean, this is almost like something I would expect from Southpaw. I mean, hell, it would probably get a better reaction if Cena did it as Lance Catamaran. Oh man, but that's
it's a sad situation when all-time greats like John Cena has to resort to going to OnlyFans for an income. So,
I will say this: when he put out the tweet about it, it was literally a gif of two oscillating fans, and I'm wondering how long it took people to get that. Oh, it's a picture of only fans. Like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that's my wind farm joke, you bastard.
Well, as long as we don't see John Cena's ass, I think we'll be good to go.
I mean, there's probably more hair on there than it is on the top of his head. I mean, John Cena to play Mo in the next Three Stooges movie.
Oh.
Or no, or would he be Larry?
Oh, speaking of hairy asses, Hangman Page.
Pornstash Page.
Yes, Pornstash Page. They did an injury angle with him last week on Dynamite. To maybe explain an absence that he will have at Revolution. As of this recording, he was supposed to be in a triple threat against Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland for the AEW Championship. But it appears that he may have a family emergency that will prevent that from happening. What are your thoughts on that, Scooter?
If it's a work, it's a terrible reason to use. Especially knowing AEW, there's always some, all the works are always based on some sort of truth. The situation with Sting, and why he wasn't at Dynamite, is because he, unfortunately, his father passed away.
Which isn't a gimmick, that actually happened.
Yeah, that actually did happen. And, I mean, do I like the fact that, that Sting put it in a promo? Maybe, maybe not. Was it healthy for him to do that? Probably. I mean, probably it helped him to, talk about it, especially considering that he was, celebrating with his sons, a mere 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And they haven't given any specifics on what the family emergency could be.
No.
I mean, the only thing that saves this would be if it turns out he becomes a father.
Again.
Yeah, if it's a death in the family, you know what? Tell the truth. Every sudden, instance where life just happens doesn't need to be explained in kayfabe. And I'm really surprised that once again AEW is pulling something like this. It seems like AEW does not trust wrestling fans with the truth. Because, let's face it, if a lot of those truths came out, AEW would probably be out of business.
You're probably not wrong at this point. MDA is Jericho and whatnot. I just, it's never, a great thing when you have a family emergency. But I wonder if you can rely on Hangman Page to be your guy in some aspects. Like 2 years ago, he decided to, not going to say walk away from the company, but take time away from the company, to have his son, spend time with his family when they were ready to put the belt on him. And I just wonder, and I mean, obviously they did, they just delayed that. But I wonder if Tony or, anybody in a high ranking part of AEW feels like if he's not going to be here, can we really rely on him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I absolutely get that. This screams. This really does scream work, and it screams work in the direction of the EVP Bucks.
You think that they're doing this to garner sympathy for Paige?
I think they're doing it to build an angle after Revolution. It's just I don't exactly really know what to make of it, or if anybody else is involved. Say, I don't know, MJF. I mean, given that the Undisputed Kingdom is doing fuck all aside from Roderick Strong, it's a wait and see kind of situation. I doubt anything was revealed on Rampage, and I doubt anything was revealed on Collision. If anything, we'll hear something on Dynamite. Now again, my mind is running away with this. What if someone is trying to take his place in the match?
Well, I mean, if he's healthy, then why would they do that?
Does Hangman really need another reign with that belt?
I think Hangman needs to be in this match, if I'm being completely honest.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be painful. And
to watch.
Honestly, I'm wondering if it's a matter of looking at it as Joe and Hangman just dwarf Swerve. But then again, they dwarfed MJF, and that didn't stop him. It's just so peculiar.
I mean, it is, and I think we're going to find out more, next week as we get closer to when we do our whole preview of that pig preview. So we shall see. Another thing, that I found interesting, a WWE writer by the name of Jennifer Pepperman,
Yep.
left the company. Nothing really newsworthy there. Until you find out that she joined AEW.
Yep.
And, if you believe in rumor and innuendo, she's a friend of, Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné. I don't necessarily see that this person is going to move the needle at all when it comes to AEW, but can she do something of significance in the company?
I mean, Eric Bischoff praised AEW for signing her.
Really?
Which has to mean something, since he does not throw out compliments to AEW very often.
This is correct.
And it's I mean, I hope it will, be a positive for the company and the industry. There were also numerous other, upper talent, upper, office executives that they could have taken. I'm kind of surprised that we didn't hear Tony attempt to hire Kevin Dunn.
I don't think anybody did.
I don't think Dunn would have accepted it.
Me neither.
But if I was Tony Khan, I would at least put the offer out there, knowing he wasn't gonna take it, just to put a little wind in his sails, so to speak. Like, yeah, that's right. We just made an offer to your number 2 guy behind the scenes, and he was considering it. I mean, that's the type of poaching Tony has to do.
Well, you think, like I said, I don't feel like she's going to move the needle in a positive direction, if any. But, like I said, she's friends with, Sasha Moné. Could she be maybe, like, Brian Gewirtz is to The Rock? Somebody that communicates what Sasha is feeling, or help her get into a higher position in the company, if that makes sense.
Sasha needs to put on her friggin' big girl britches and stop having people talk for her. You're an adult with kind of a well-known, both a well-known and a terrible reputation. So, unless this is a way to counteract the fact that Sasha has thrown more temper tantrums than Steve Austin in 2002. It's ridiculous, and it's probably feeding into the ego of Mercedes Moné.
Well, not feeding into Tony Khan's ego. Tony Khan lost Booker of the Year from Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer Awards, to Triple H. Triple H is the 2023 Booker of the Year. Tony Khan was Booker of the Year in 21 and 22. Not 23. Is this a real big blow to Tony Khan's ego when it comes to all of this? Because, I mean, I'm sure Triple H couldn't give less of a shit about it, but, Tony Khan, it means everything to him.
I mean, you gotta call this award by its actual name. The CM Punk Award.
Where has CM Punk hold Booker of the Year?
Basically.
Okay.
And, I mean, yeah, Triple H isn't gonna care about that. He's gonna go on with business as usual. I will say, though, after the news I read about this morning, and I'm not... Nope, I did not... Yep, I did not mention this. This morning, there's a very good chance I'm going to Forbidden Door.
Why would you want to do that?
Because it's going to be at Arthur Ashe Stadium.
So what are they going to do for a Grand Slam?
Not every episode of Dynamite needs a name. You can have a Grand Slam anywhere. In fact, you know what? Go to Denny's. I mean, why they haven't, tapped into a Denny's sponsorship, since they're willing to, whore themselves out for every video game. And I blame Botchamania for that.
Very true.
Some smartasses in the crowd, with some comparison sign. Final Fantasy 64 Tactics was the best Final Fantasy game, or some shit like that. It's superficiality is all this is. And it's ridiculous at this point that Tony needs that validation. It's almost as if he needs it like he needs cocaine.
Well, it's for sure he's eating Haagen-Dazs in the bathtub now, crying. But yeah, Triple H, congratulations to Triple H, Booker of the Year. Did something I don't even think Vince McMahon's done.
like, it's like, oh, guess what? You also won so-and-so elementary school's award for Booker of the Year. Probably care about that more.
Speaking of WWE, they're currently they're probably on their way home from Australia. As everybody knows, way too early to do a review of that show, as it just happened a couple hours ago.
Yes, so please tune in for our review of it yesterday.
Correct. But things are kind of getting heated. Well, things got heated. Austin Theory did some interviews with reporters, and the reporter said he used the F word when it comes to wrestling.
Fake.
Also known as the F word, Scooter.
Hey, saying that only promotes fear of the word itself. I mean, with all due respect, it's probably very appropriate for Austin Theory, so.
Well, anyway, Austin Theory blew up on the reporter, as rightfully so. Not too long ago, Grayson Waller did an interview in Australia as well, where they maybe wasn't respecting pro wrestling as much as they should. Is this just that pro wrestling isn't as mainstream in Australia as it is in America? Will they respect the boundaries of what you call pro wrestling and what you don't call it?
This is clearly an attempt to boost the career of this particular press member who asked it, because this is a Dr. D. John Stossel situation all over again. For those who don't know, Dr. D. David Schultz was one of the men Vince McMahon was considering not just pushing, but building the company around, or at least being the villain that the company is built around. And there was a very good chance WrestleMania 1 would have been very different if Dr. D. David Schultz had not assaulted reporter John Stossel, who this happened on 2020, a highly respected news program, still going on to this day. And Stossel filed a lawsuit. They settled. Schultz was fired, and now that's all he's remembered for. It's that's poor ethics by the member of the press. you and I both know that pro wrestling does mean a lot for many states in Australia. You know, deathmatch down under is the primary example I can think of.
Right. I think Riot City is in Adelaide.
Adelaide is
further away.
It's New South Wales. So New South Wales would be the state. Adelaide would be the city in that. It's a bit ridiculous. Should Theory have composed himself better? Probably. Could this have been an entire work to begin with? Probably. It's all that concept of perspective and through what lens you are looking at it in.
I'm not sure. I mean, WWE's always tried to get away from, that negativity of, saying it's the F word. So I highly doubt that they would, state something that included it.
Well,
and you're absolutely right. The reporter never should have used that word. Austin Theory could have handled it better, but he could have dealt with it a hell of a lot worse as well. Like other people have in the past. But I mean, you don't interview Mike Tyson and say he talks funny. I mean, we know he talks funny, but you don't you don't look at him and say, "Hey, you talk funny. Tell us about it."
My defense is impregnable. I'm gonna fustigate him. I'm gonna hit him so hard. And I suppose the one positive that came out of this is that Theory is now terrified to do Spanish Fly ever again.
Theory?
I said Theory. Yes, he will never be attempting the Spanish Fly ever again, especially after what went down with him and Carmelo Hayes in that sick-looking spot that clearly did not go as planned.
I believe Carmelo's okay.
Yes, Carmelo is okay. Austin is okay, and that's great. That's absolutely great. And what's even better, he's learned from it. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's sometimes in this industry, something that might be seen as trivial by others turns out to be a really smart and considerate decision, not just for him, but for everyone else he will work with in the ring from this point on. It's the most mature decision, I would say, Theory has ever made in an interview that wasn't necessarily in gimmick. And it's that little idiosyncrasy that can make him be viewed by others as someone who learns from their mistakes and has respect for this business. I've never liked Theory as a person. I think he talks stupidly, and he's from Atlanta. Sorry, Cody. But this is growth as a person and as a performer.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to help his career any much. It may be change some people's perspective of him, but other than that, I don't see it as much more.
Considering like 3 or 4 people know how to do the Spanish Fly, and they know how to do it from a standing position, which is much more difficult. Is the amount of careers he could have lost, now will be careers will be years he has.
Somebody that has a career maybe outside of the ring is Robert Roode. He got cleared to actually compete in the ring again. But since injuring his neck quite some time ago, took a role as a WWE producer. Recently did an interview, said he has no desires of getting back in the ring. Would rather stay, backstage. Selfishly, I'd like to see Robert Roode in another match. But if he's happy doing what he's doing, and he's safe, power to him. No.
I like Robert Roode as an agent because Roode did not come up in the WWE system. He's got that different perspective that could make a show a melting pot of entertainment, so to speak. I mean, if God forbid, Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis step aside as general managers, Bobby Roode is definitely going to fill one of those spots.
Yeah. I mean, let's take it a step further. Shawn Michaels.
Well, I mean, we have, Rocket.
That is correct.
In that position, and the Rock's tree not exactly bearing very good fruit, so to speak. She's not authoritatively scary.
Well, I mean, once The Rock, leaves WWE again, I highly doubt she's going to be in that position.
Well, I mean, it depends on if the UFL succeeds.
The UFL?
The UFL. The Ultimate Football League.
Oh, okay. Let's hope that it makes $63 million rather than lose it.
Well, maybe Rocket put it on his Mighty Oak Acorns card.
Well, like I said, as much as I would love to see Bobby Roode back in a ring, I understand that he's happy where he is, and that's great. But never say never in the same breath.
And speaking of Dirty Dogs,
We'll get to that. We somebody that unfortunately is on the shelf is Shotzi. She tore her ACL, which is a trend when it be pertaining to the women as of late. I don't know why, but it seems like they give Shotzi the opportunities, but then it just kind of falls to the wayside. You know what I mean?
yes. And considering that NXT was taped, and they still aired the commercial, and they were still going to go through with showing the match. Although I don't remember reading anything in the spoilers about Lash Legend coming to fill in. Not that it mattered, but
not that anybody cared.
Shotzi is unique in terms of the energy she brings to her performance. It doesn't matter where she is on the card. She just looks like she's having a blast out there. And dare I say, more talent should be approaching their performances that way.
Well, I mean, they did that whole thing with her and Bailey, but it never necessarily went anywhere, unfortunately. I mean, she was on the winning team for Survivor Series, but do you really remember Sachi doing anything of significance in that match?
I remember Shotzi chasing Bailey with an electric razor and screaming her head off as Sinead Shotzi chased her throughout the arena.
I hope that it's never great when anybody's injured, but maybe this will give her some time to kind of come up with something, put a fresh paint of coat on her, and maybe get a title shot, maybe be in the main event, when she comes back.
That's the big question, though.
What do you mean?
Will Shotzi be coming back as Shotzi? Will so much time have passed? that there's been another fundamental shift in the landscape of women's wrestling, that they may decide to give Shotzi a new gimmick.
I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. Like I said, do something new with her. Maybe something that she comes up with. It wouldn't be a bad thing.
No. It wouldn't.
Well, a good thing. Rachel Rodriguez came back
Raquel
to make a return on Monday. Be a part of the Elimination Chamber match earlier today or last night, depending on who you are. Said that she obviously had some health issues that prevented her from being in the ring. It's great to see her back. She even commented that her battle isn't over.
Yep.
But clearly, in enough remission that she's able to compete. So, great to see Raquel back in action. No?
Yes, absolutely. Sheezel.
Yes.
TM. Big Mommy Cool. I don't know if you caught the fact that for some reason they decided to censor her back.
They censored her back?
I don't know why. I think it was just a mistake or a glitch from the programming production truck. I mean, if you're glad to see her back, are you glad to see her front too? But again, this I still say someone in that women's chamber match will have been attacked and taken out, and I think it could end up being Bianca, but we will see. We will not get into that. We got into that last week, so go listen to that episode.
Yeah. But good on Raquel coming back and whatnot. Let's see. And our last bit of the news this week is formerly known as Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth has won the IWGP Global Championship. Not to be confused with the World Heavyweight Championship. We're talking about I'll just come out and say it's the white boy title.
I mean, hey, everybody knows that globe and world aren't the same thing.
Apparently not in the Japanese dictionary.
One little tidbit you're leaving out. This was his first match.
Yes, that's correct. Ever.
And when have we ever known New Japan to take a chance on a gaijin like this?
AJ Styles. Cody didn't win a title on his first night.
I will say this. Shibata's balls lit up after that match.
The fuck?
You know, because everybody that comes in has to wash Shibata's balls.
Since when?
Since Max Caster revealed it.
Oh.
It's one of those, rumored, hazing, for the young lions.
I got
They got to do shit for the old lions.
Well, apparently, Bronson Reed has a professional ass wiper. If you watched Raw as well. Yeah. This is
and speaking of that, I mean, now every week it's turned into, okay, will Michael Cole's antler fetish be satisfied?
Yeah. Dolph Ziggler. I kind of feel like it's not really relevant, and it kind of shits on David Finlay, who beat two of the biggest stars in Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley, 2 months ago. Had a hellacious 10-man cage match where he beat Will Ospreay again. It seemed like they were really pushing him into trying to be something of a Gaijin star. And it just seems like now they're shitting on him because they got a shiny new toy in the WWE wrestler. And they want to make him happy, so they're putting the title on him. I don't think it's necessarily right what they did to Finlay.
Well, given that David's brother is now signed by WWE, I can only imagine that it wouldn't take much to convince David Finlay to show up alongside his brother.
I mean, considering how they officially shitted on him in New Japan, I could definitely see that.
I mean, and if you can get Finlay back, I mean, that's a royal family.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
And if you look at The Rock's tree, apparently he's related to all of them. Call him a sandwich because he's inbred.
Will you stop it? Oh. What was I getting at?
David Finlay has his momentum has come to a screeching halt.
Right. And they want to keep Gaijins. New Japan. They want to keep Gaijins. They want to, make. You have to have. You have to have Gaijins in New Japan. It's a big part of the company. You lost your biggest star that you had in Okada. You're trying to build David Finlay to be something of a draw, and then you do this to him? How is he supposed to react to that? How is he supposed to feel? And then you wonder why people are leaving your company for greener pastures. You know what I mean?
I'm wondering if Will Ospreay was a factor in this.
In what way?
Almost like it was a message to Will. Like, hey, Will, look what we did. Will you come back? Please?
I think Will Ospreay has desires to wrestle Nick Nemeth. Does anybody have desires to wrestle Nick Nemeth except, indie guys that, liked him when they were kids?
I think Will Ospreay and Nick Nemeth could have a very good match.
But would anybody care?
If it's a banger, they will.
Let's play fantasy booker here for a second. It happens at Forbidden Door. Is it a big match?
No.
Then it don't mean shit.
Because you're putting the guy who just left, and now you're promoting him as AEW talent. Honestly, I would keep Will Ospreay off Forbidden Door.
They're not.
Yeah, I know. But if you want to really cement Will Ospreay as truly being all elite, those ties have to be severed.
And when has Tony Khan ever showed any discipline when it comes to things like that?
When he's had enough cocaine and hookers. And of course the answer to that is he's never had enough.
So, yeah. Dolph Ziggler is your new IWGP Global Champion. Yay for him? Question mark.
Just wait until he wins the G1. I have spoken it into existence.
If fucking Kenny Omega is the only guy seeming to ever do it, what makes you think that Nick Nemeth is going to do it?
Because otherwise, I'm going to speak an even worse competitor into winning it.
Then maybe we should just leave the episode there.
Cliffhanger.
Right. I believe that will conclude this episode. Join us next week as we preview AEW Revolution, Sting's last match, and do a review of Elimination Chamber. So yeah, a lot of things will be covered next week. Until then, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, both on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us this Monday, I should say, as we interview Deshaun Watkins of Compton Mania. This Tuesday, as we interview Maddie the American Baddie. and Wednesday as we interview Uncle Money. And follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on Dread, X, and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Scooter?
As always, find me on X at ScooterDust. My profile picture contest still going strong. Nobody's guessed it correctly. Again, if you can tell me what my profile picture is, you will win a free 1-year subscription to Peacock ad-free.
For Scooter Dust and Kaliko Yachts and James J, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.